All right, here's another RP TikTok compilation video. I'm still consuming my coffee and cannabis oil breakfast because I currently live in Antarctica, New York. It's fucking terrible here. And I've seen some snowstorms.
Only after we've lost everything, we're free to do anything.
If you want to see a city where where everything is basically just covered in ice, and you don't want to go to Greenland, then just come to Buffalo. I think our death count is up to 35 or 54 or something like that. It should be more for how bad it was, but thankfully it wasn't.
Young people aren't aspiring to anything. The left teaches them to be lazy, to be victims, to be depressed, and that's cool. No, because you've got to have a purpose-driven life and a mission, and these young people need a mission, and you're giving them a mission.
The point of being a liberal is to glorify and enable irresponsible behavior, and that's why everybody on the left is a miserable, bitter, hate-filled piece of shit that usually dies prematurely. And because of that, they want everyone else to suffer for it. And that's why they abuse children without apology at all.
Absolutely. And what's actually interesting is this extremely...
The reason why the next generations of kids don't have any motivation to care is because we haven't given them any. We just tell them that the government is going to do everything for them and they should just sit on their asses and do nothing because they're useless anyway, so why bother? And then you wonder why Republican kids are significantly better off than Democrat kids.
Critical, because when they need firemen to charge into a burning building, when they need police officers to hopefully save children in school and not just stand outside, when they need real men to go do real things, then they call on the men like me and the men who think like me.
Well, yeah, but they're strong and independent and equal to us now, so they shouldn't need just men to run into burning houses and save children because of how strong and independent they are, thanks to their overbearing strength and independence.
Want the men who are brave, who are masculine, who have tenets of masculinity, who have honor, who have duty, then they want us. But as soon as they don't want us to go risk our lives to protect them, they say we're not allowed opinion, we're not allowed to think, we're not allowed to talk, we should be depersoned and...
I can't say that the left is entirely responsible for the implosion of America because at the end of the day, men in general are the ones who allowed this to happen, and we never had to. And I don't know why anybody would want to fight for a country with a 19th Amendment anyway, so do with that what you will.
They try and use us, absolutely and utterly, because society needs men like us, and I'm the one who's been speaking up for them.
You just have the larger audience.
I'll say what I said earlier. We as men, there is nothing you guys can provide to us that we can't outsource. If we want sex, we can buy sex. If we want someone to design websites, we can pay for that too. If we want a woman...
The only thing a single woman looking for a husband is worth anymore, unless she's a traditional woman, which is like looking for a needle in a haystack, is a baby, and we don't need to marry you for that anymore. The reason why men are traveling in a particular distance that is the opposite of where women are is because you surrendered everything that men find attractive about you to feminism. And even when you're 45 years old and you're living with cats and you don't have any kids or a husband, you're still going to blame the men in spite of the fact that it's your ideology. And that's what makes you people pieces of shit, amongst other things.
To come over and cook and clean, we can hire a maid. If we want a woman to do laundry, we can do that too. There isn't one amount of money any of you guys could pay a man to wipe you up and retire you.
Bingo.
Media promoting delusion. About 5 years ago, there was this film that came out called 50 Shades of Grey. And in fact, the book that it was based on was
Don't objectify us, but let's buy 50 million copies of a book about S&M.
one of the highest grossing of the decade. And if you've not heard of this film or the book before, it's basically about this billionaire Chad who goes for and ends up in a relationship with some fairly average woman. A similar storyline happens in other movies.
Yeah, another thing you complaining machines need to do is stop blaming all men for your relationship problems, because you're purposely chasing men that you know don't give a fuck about you, and then you're blaming people and then you're blaming all men in particular, like it's my fault that you need to suck the dicks of Chads and Tyrones only, and not the poor incels that can't even get a kiss on the mouth. Imagine being one of those guys and hearing some worn out cunt feminist in her 40s blaming all men because she couldn't find a good guy when the good guys were there the entire time and she just didn't care because they didn't give her the tingles in her pussy lips.
And TV shows, such as the highly acclaimed Sex and the City. This series, too, showed women, despite being in their 30s and 40s, still being able to pin down and get commitment from Chads.
Sex and the City was a terrible idea, but it did well on HBO.
So the point I'm trying to make here is that the media is portraying the idea that any woman, irrespective of what she brings to the table, can get a relationship from a Chad. No matter.
You know why they're called Chads and Tyrones? Because they're never going to commit to you. So chasing them is pointless. So maybe you should go for the good guys that actually want to take care of you instead of going after these guys that tell you to your face that they don't want anything from you but sex.
So how old or average?
You should push yourself beyond your limits of tolerance in your 20s to find out where it is. How much can you work? How disciplined can you become? Like, can you work 12 hours a day? Can you work 8 hours a day? Can you work 3 hours a day? Like, flat out. Where's your limit?
I was such a hard worker throughout my 20s and 30s that when I saw a 12-hour shift, I thought, oh, thank God it's only a 12-hour shift. And you got people fucking complaining because they're having to work complete 8-hour days or 4-hour days or at all. If it's a privilege to have a work ethic, then yeah, I guess you're right when you say that I'm privileged, but what does that say about you?
How much work can you do and how much socialization? You should find out. Push yourself past and then back off to that point where it's optimally sustainable.
Okay, so they got this bitch pouring a gigantic bottle of wine in public with says when you've been single for 4 years, and she's just basically chugging wine. It's important to understand that being single and not having sex are two entirely different things.
So loud. If you genuinely believe that's the real thing, listen, she may be single as in like nobody's cuffed her, but listen, any chick in a Western country, she's been single for 4 years, believe me, there's one dude that's been piping her out, there's another dude that's been taking on these friendships to get something, and there's been a bunch of endless people on social media just feeding her attention.
She's been riding that rooster carousel for so long that it needs new bolts.
Listen, it's not like girls being single and guys being single are two different things. When a guy is single, he's single. His dick is as dry as Sahara Desert, bro. These chicks, when they say that they're single, they basically don't have anyone who's cuffed them yet. But they've got one dude to pipe them down and another.
I've been single for 12 years, but I've still, the royal oats and whatnot, because that's all that's left. You wonder why men don't want to get married anymore when sex is the only thing you have to offer them. And we gave you the right to vote. That is astounding. It is absolutely astounding that women can make Me Too an entire era and then wonder why men don't want to talk to them anymore. Yeah, we give these people voting rights.
To give them attention.
And if you're strong and independent, why do you need us to give you the rights? Why didn't you just take them from the beginning?
He's basically a male gay best friend, but he's straight. That's the reality of the situation. Do not feel sorry for these girls and understand the game. I said what I said.
Indeed. This is really good.
So all our younger guys out there, life's a marathon, not a sprint, okay? Don't feel bad about yourselves because you're 23 years old.
One of the things that I used to lose the most sleep over in my teens and early to mid 20s was not being able to get what I want when I wanted it, because I assumed that if I busted my ass every single day for a certain period of time, eventually there would be an end game. And sometimes there's not. Sometimes you have to spend 20 years working for what you want before you can get it, or maybe 30 years, or maybe 5 years. Who knows? I graduated with a degree in journalism in 2004. It's 2022 now, and I'm not as well known as any of these people. But I also don't lose sleep over it anymore, because you also gain perspective as you age if you're capable of thinking.
Well, you don't got no money and you can't compete. Take your time. I was broke as shit when I was 26. Broke as shit.
But people are also being as condescending and disingenuous as they can when they tell you that you're extremely talented and one day you'll catch your break, because that's just their polite way of saying that they don't care about your problems.
I was a millionaire by age 35. Give it 5 years. Give it 10 years. Figure it out. You can do it.
Give her the moon and the stars, and all she'll want is space. That's true. She's for the streets.
You want a woman to respect you? Leave her ass. She might come back. She might do. She might not come back. She might do. Who knows? I can't tell you what she's going to do. What I do know is, if you don't leave, she is going to be more disrespectful than what she has been.
You're better off leaving so you don't end up in family court and bent over a table with Astroglide spread around your exit only.
That's what I can promise you.
Three things I learned dating a single mom.
Don't do it.
Number one, you will never be first. You will never be above her kids. The kids always come first, no matter what. You can have a date set, and if something's wrong with her kids, the date is over. Facts. Number two, her baby daddy will always have access to sex with her. Anytime he comes over to see the kids, drop off food, drop off money, or whatever, he can always come in, get some sex, and get out of there. The baby mama will always be down, I promise you. Number three, and this is very important.
That's why you shouldn't play violins for these people, because all they're doing is manipulating systems that they're responsible for creating. And then they complain about all the good guys.
If you get close to her kids, and you raising them, y'all have a bond, one day she can get mad at you, kick you out, take the kids away. That shit is gut-wrenching, I promise you.
100.
Imagine you helping raise these kids. Y'all have a relationship. You invest in money. You invest in time. And then one day she just...
If you're a man and you have respect for yourself, do not date or marry a woman with a body count, because you'll never be as valued as the guys who came before her. Just means she's settling for you.
Take them away from you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. They're not yours.
Go clean it.
A tradition, but a lot of you single mothers would be a lot less single if you stopped telling the dad how to raise their kid. Like, I don't know what you guys want. You told the kid to go
Sorry, I had to
clean
check
his room,
something.
the dad chimes in, the kid gets up and goes and cleans his room. So what do you guys want? Oh, it's because he didn't coddle him, give him a 30-minute lecture, or hold his hand while he did it, right? When in life does that ever happen? You guys are raising your kids to be soft as baby shit. I grew up in a military family. My dad's a Green Beret Special Forces. I used to go with him to PT in the morning. I'm trying to imagine his drill sergeant being like, all right, boy, yeah, I know you don't want to, but you're going to have to drop and give me 50, okay, big guy? Also,
It's all fun and games to manipulate boys into believing they're girls until you no longer have a military, and then every other country on the planet comes and slaughters everybody in yours. Fantastic job, woke assholes. Fantastic job. I can't wait. You people are nothing but human pieces of shit who should have a gun barrel for dinner.
Conception that we're scared of our fathers is bullshit. We don't fear our fathers. We respect him. He's the pack leader. He's the alpha male. That's supposed to be the guy we look up to. And dads are supposed to be a little intimidating. Imagine your teenage daughter bringing home a boyfriend who looks like he could beat up your dad. All right, you make sure she's home by 10, okay?
If I had a teenage daughter in 2022, and she decided that she wanted to be for the streets instead of being traditional, I would consider myself a failure as a parent and blow my head off.
Mom always told me, and I didn't understand it when I was young. Never feel sorry for a man.
You and your mama can shut the fuck up. Your mama told you that for what? You sound hurt, bitter.
If you want to be angry at somebody, why don't you be angry at your mother and your grandmother for not teaching you how to be a proper woman, instead of blaming men for the fact that your mother and her mother and the mother before her were complete failures?
Salty, all that shit. Shut the fuck up. And we ain't.
It's not my fault your mom was a whore.
So she gets a fucking reward for cheating and fucking over her entire family.
And this is why a legally binding prenup with clauses for infidelity is mandatory for any man who wants to get.
Please, and I'm not saying this to try to destroy your life, and I'm not saying it because I haven't done it yet. I'm begging you, if you're a teenage boy or a man, younger or older, please do not get married unless you can afford to get ass raped in family court after every single divorce. Because the only reason why women get married now is to get divorced. And if you don't believe me, look up the stats.
Married in this day and age. If you are a man and you think you found the one, go to a lawyer and get a prenup. And if your partner has a problem or is starting to flail all over the place, well, they're already telling you their intentions. Because someone who has no intention to steal from you and betray you would have a problem with a piece of paper that says you're not allowed to do it. And if they say, oh, you don't trust me, well, I don't trust them now.
Whether it's their intention or not, they still have the power to do it.
Because if you offer something honestly to somebody and they start talking about trust and their privacy and blah, 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 yakety schmackety, they're manipulating you. That is a flag, a red one. Run.
Forrest.
Listen, as a man starts to gain value, women will start to try to manipulate him into relationships. You must realize that you should not fall for every girl who has fallen for you. A lot of men don't reach their true potential till they're after 25 years old. They don't have money yet. They don't have a nice body yet. They don't have value to give a girl. So therefore, they have no way of attracting the best quality of women yet. See, women start at the top of the mountain. They are born with value. Men start at the bottom of the mountain. They have to climb their way up through life, and this takes a lot longer. And what men must realize, as the older they get, the more desirable they become to women. Women like to date men older than them. Men like to date women younger than them. So if you are under 25 years old,
if you're a man looking for a wife too, your standards need to be higher than Mars. Because we're living in a time where women absolutely have nothing to offer men except sex. And is that really worth risking your entire life and savings and possessions and kids over?
Well, your dating pool is very small. You should not be focused on getting a girlfriend. You should be focused on building yourself as a man. This is what will give you the best options.
If you concentrate on yourself and build yourself up to the man you want to be, then you won't even have to approach women, because they'll be able to sniff your success and they'll start running toward it faster than Speedy Gonzalez.
Very first thing we're going to talk about, of course, is your body, is your physique. I know you're about to say it.
If you're physically capable of working out, I highly recommend it, because it helps tremendously with depression and anxiety and your health as far as your innards, and cleaning out all the waste and replenishing your joy for life. Yeah. The only problem with working out is that you can't do it 24 hours a day. It's a beautiful thing. And being fat is not healthy or sexy. It'll just kill you prematurely, and that's what Democrats want because they care about the children.
Have to work out. Why do we have to diet? Not only does women find that so sexually attractive, you'll also get respect from men. You'll also get the, you know what I'm saying, the head nod from men because he sees you. He sees the hard work. You'll see other men with other cold physiques that admire what you do. You'll get respect from other men because we know it takes a lot of discipline. Women know that too.
Discipline indeed.
Can I say something? Just let me know. Can I say it?
Holler at me.
All right, I'm gonna say it. Nice guys don't finish last. Lames finish last. Okay, there's a difference. You can treat a girl right, and if you're a good-looking dude that's smooth, but you're just about your business when it comes to your lady, you still gonna get girls. It's these dorks. Listen, stop trying to impress females. Stop, please. You mess.
Money is literally all you need to please them going into 2023 because they have made it abundantly clear over a series of years that that is all they care about and that you can go fuck yourself.
Listen it up for the rest of us. If you're a cool dude, just be a cool dude. The right female is gonna come. Listen, there's 7 billion people on the planet, which is roughly 3 to 4 billion women. There's a lot of attractive girls. Just because one doesn't want you because you feel like you're a nice guy does not mean that you can't get an attractive girl. You just can't get that one. Stop materializing everything trying to get these girls. Nice guys don't finish last. Lame guys finish last. Okay, stop being lame.
Stop being lame. Hey, baby boys.
Think about their day, like who cares? I care about my day, not yours.
In the year 2020,
They literally don't care about you. All they care about is what you can give them. So it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever to lose your mind or your life over these soulless, heartless, unapologetically selfish monsters of human beings who try to pretend that they're victims every day. There's no reason to be jumping off a chair for these fucking... Ugh. Hey, baby boys. Is everything okay down there? That better be a friendly conversation. Don't make me come down there.
every hour of every day of the entire year, 6 men, on average, took their own life because they just wished someone actually gave a shit. If you're one of those men, hit me up, bro.
If you're a man and you need help, go to another man, because even the women who can pretend to care don't understand what you're talking about, because it's impossible for them to relate, which is probably one of the reasons why they don't care. Go to a man of intelligence, not a man who weighs 400 pounds and doesn't think he's going to fall off of a fucking carnival ride.
Box is open. I'd rather give a fuck than you not be here. I promise you one thing. I care a lot more about how your day's going than this do nothing ass bitch. Sorry, my phone died. Beautiful woman.
All right, that's it. Until the next one.